What if I told you that the key to unlocking a sharper, faster, more brilliant mind isn't about working harder, but about understanding the secret language of your own brain? Right now, as you watch this, your brain is generating tiny electrical pulses called brainwaves. And these waves hold the master key to your focus, creativity, memory, and even your problem-solving genius. Most of us go through life never realizing we can actually influence and direct these waves. We get stuck in mental ruts, plagued by brain fog, or feel our creativity has vanished. But what if you could hack into this internal system? What if you could deliberately shift your brain into states of peak performance on demand? Stay with us because over the next 15 minutes, we will reveal 18 powerful, science-backed brainwave hacks. These aren't just theories. They are practical habits that can rewire your brain for enhanced intelligence, profound clarity, and a level of mental energy you probably thought was reserved for prodigies. Get ready to learn the art of thinking smarter, not harder. Habit 1. The 90-minute focus sprint. Let's start with the fundamental rhythm of your brain's productivity, the ultradian rhythm. Your brain isn't designed to focus for 8 hours straight. Instead, it operates in natural high-frequency cycles of about 90 minutes. During these cycles, you can achieve intense, deep focus. But here's the twist everyone ignores. After that 90-minute peak, your brain desperately needs a break. Pushing through that natural dip with more coffee or willpower is like slamming the gas pedal with the emergency brake on. You're just burning out your engine. The hack is to respect this rhythm. Schedule your most demanding mental work into protected 90-minute sprints. During this time, eliminate all distractions, phone on airplane mode, notifications off. Then, and this is crucial, you must take a real 20-minute break afterward. Step away from your desk, stare out a window, take a short walk. This allows your brainwaves to reset, consolidating what you've learned and preparing for the next high-performance sprint. This one change alone can double your productive output without increasing your hours. Habit 2. The dopamine detox. We often think of dopamine as the feel-good chemical, but in your brain's reward system, it's actually the seek-and-find molecule. It's what drives motivation and curiosity. The modern world, however, is a minefield of cheap dopamine hits, a notification ding, a social media like, a viral video. Every time you get one, you get a tiny, unsustainable spike. The problem is, your brain adapts. Soon, you need more and more of these hits to feel the same level of motivation, making the deep, sustained effort required for genius-level work feel boring and unrewarding. The brainwave hack here is a strategic dopamine detox. This doesn't mean eliminating joy. It means removing the easy, empty rewards so your brain resets its sensitivity. Designate one day a week, or even a few hours each day, where you abstain from these digital junk foods. No random web browsing, no social media, no binge watching. Instead, allow yourself to feel a little bored. It's in this state of understimulation that your brain begins to recalibrate, making the profound satisfaction of deep work and real-world accomplishment feel exciting and rewarding again. Habit 3. The state-changing power pose. Your brain doesn't just influence your body directly commands your brain. Think about a time you felt defeated. Your shoulders were probably slumped, your head was down. This posture tells your brainwave patterns to produce feelings of stress and submission. But groundbreaking research from Harvard has revealed a stunning counterhack. By holding a power pose for just 2 minutes, you can significantly alter your brain chemistry. By standing tall, chest out, hands on your hips like a superhero, you trigger a massive reduction in the stress hormone cortisol and an increase in the confidence hormone testosterone. This biochemical shift directly influences your brainwaves, moving you from a high beta anxious state to a more resourceful, confident alpha state. You are literally telling your brain, I am in charge here. And your brain obeys. Before your next big meeting, difficult conversation, or creative session, find a private space and strike a pose for 120 seconds. You will walk in with a clearer, more commanding mental presence. Habit 4. The curiosity trigger question. Genius isn't just about having answers, it's about nurturing powerful questions. A passive brain consumes information, but a genius brain actively interrogates it. The simple hack to trigger this is to end every learning session, every chapter of a book, or every interesting conversation not with a period, but with a question. For example, after learning about gravity, you might ask, but what would the universe be like if gravity were slightly stronger? This curiosity trigger does something magical to your brainwaves. It engages the reticular activating system, or RAS, a tiny bundle of nerves that acts as your brain's filter. By asking a compelling question, you program your RAS to be on high alert for anything related to the answer in your environment. You'll start noticing articles, hearing snippets of conversation, and having insights you would have otherwise filtered out. Your brain becomes a magnet for relevant information, turning the whole world into your classroom and accelerating your learning in a way that feels almost effortless. Habit 5. The binaural beat focus session. Sound is one of the most direct ways to influence your brain's electrical activity. This is the principle behind binaural beats. When you play a tone of one frequency in your left ear and a slightly different frequency in your right ear, your brain perceives a third phantom beat, the difference between the two. Incredibly, your brain waves will then start to synchronize with this new frequency. It's a process called frequency following response. Want to sink into a deep meditative state for enhanced creativity? Listen to a theta wave binaural beat, around 4 to 7 hertz. Need laser-sharp focus for a complex task? A beta wave beat, 14 to 30 hertz, can help guide your brain there. The hack is to use these as a tool. Put on headphones, find a reliable binaural beats track on YouTube or a music app for your desired state, and listen for at least 15 minutes while you work or meditate. It's like a tuning fork for your mind, gently nudging your brainwaves into the perfect pattern for the task at hand. Habit 6. The neurofeedback breath. You breathe about 25,000 times a day, mostly on autopilot. But what if you could use your breath as a remote control for your brain state? It's possible, and it's called coherent breathing. The magic number is simple. Breathe in for a count of 5 and breathe out for a count of 5. That's it, about 5 to 6 breaths per minute. Why is this so powerful? This specific rhythm creates a perfect harmony between your heartbeat and your breath, a state known as heart rate variability coherence. This signal from your heart travels directly to the command center of your brain, calming your amygdala, the fear center, and stimulating the prefrontal cortex, your seat of higher reasoning. The result is your chaotic high beta brain smooths out into calm, focused alpha waves. You feel centered, clear-headed, and in control. Practice this for just 5 minutes when you feel stressed or before a mentally demanding task. It's a direct line from your lungs to your brain's performance center.
Habit 7. The memory palace technique. The ancient Greeks and Romans didn't have smartphones, yet they could memorize epic speeches and vast amounts of information. Their secret? A brainwave hack called the method of loci, or the memory palace. This technique works by hijacking your brain's incredible spatial memory, which is far more robust than your memory for abstract facts. Here's how it works. You visualize a familiar place in extreme detail, like your home. Then you take the information you want to remember and turn it into vivid, bizarre, or sensory-rich images that you place along a specific route through this palace. For example, to remember a grocery list, you might imagine a giant dancing lemon in your hallway, a waterfall of milk in the kitchen sink, and a loaf of bread toasting itself on your sofa. The act of creating this vivid spatial story forces your brain to engage multiple regions, visual cortex, spatial navigation, and memory centers, weaving the information into a durable neural tapestry. It transforms boring data into an unforgettable adventure.
Habit 8. The cold plunge clarity shock. This one might sound intense, but the science behind it is undeniable. A brief controlled exposure to cold, like a 30 to 60 second cold shower at the end of your usual routine, triggers a massive systemic shock. Your body's first response is to scream in protest, but if you breathe through it, something remarkable happens in your brain. The cold surge dramatically increases the production of norepinephrine and dopamine. Norepinephrine sharpens your focus and alertness to a razor's edge, while the dopamine release creates a sense of calm well-being afterward. This potent chemical cocktail clears out brain fog like a thunderstorm clears humid air. Your brainwaves shift from a sluggish, drowsy state to a vibrant, high-functioning beta state. It's a hard reset for your entire nervous system. You step out of that shower feeling not just awake, but mentally invincible, with a clarity and mood boost that can last for hours. Habit 9. The locus of control reframe. Your brain's performance is profoundly affected by your sense of agency. When you believe you are a victim of external circumstances, a bad boss, bad luck, a difficult market, you trigger a stress response that floods your brain with cortisol, impairing cognitive function. The hack is to consciously practice an internal locus of control. This doesn't mean ignoring real problems. It means shifting your focus from what you can't control to what you can. Stuck in traffic? You can't control the cars, but you can control what you listen to or use the time to mentally plan your day. Faced with a critical email? You can't control the sender's tone, but you can control your response. Every time you consciously make this reframe, you move your brain from a passive, reactive state to an active, creative one. You tell your brain, I am in charge here, which reduces anxiety and frees up mental resources for problem solving instead of worrying.
Habit 10. The bilingual brain boost. If you speak a second language, you possess a hidden cognitive superpower. Every time you switch between languages, you are performing an incredible mental gymnastic feat. Your brain must inhibit one language while activating the other, a process that strengthens the executive control network, the part of your brain responsible for focus, task switching, and ignoring distractions. Think of it as a daily workout for your anterior cingulate cortex. The result? Bilinguals consistently show enhanced cognitive reserve, meaning their brains are more resilient to age-related decline. They are better at multitasking, within reason, and solving complex problems because their brains are practiced at holding competing ideas and choosing the most relevant one. If you don't speak another language, it's never too late to start learning. Even just 15 minutes a day on a language app can begin to forge these valuable new neural pathways. Habit 11. The glymphatic system cleanse. While you're busy focusing and learning during the day, your brain accumulates metabolic waste, like the plaque that builds up in Alzheimer's disease. How does your brain take out the trash? It has its own unique cleaning system, discovered only recently, called the glymphatic system. And it does almost all of its deep cleaning while you are in one specific state: deep, non-REM sleep. This is the brain's ultimate overnight hack. During this deep sleep stage, your brain cells actually shrink by up to 60%, opening up channels that allow cerebrospinal fluid to flush through and wash away the toxic byproducts. Skimping on sleep is like refusing to take out the garbage in your house. It piles up, impairing your memory, slowing your thinking, and increasing brain fog. The hack is non-negotiable. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Think of it as your brain's most critical maintenance shift, where it literally cleans and prepares itself for another day of genius-level performance. Habit 13. The Feynman technique for deep understanding. Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman believed that if you couldn't explain a concept simply, you didn't truly understand it. His namesake technique is a brutal but effective brainwave hack for mastering any subject. Step 1. Choose a concept you want to learn. Step 2. Try to explain it out loud, as if you were teaching it to a complete novice or a child. Step 3. Identify the gaps in your explanation, the parts where you falter, use jargon, or can't make a simple analogy. Step 4. Go back to the source material and study only those gaps. By forcing your brain to deconstruct complex ideas into their fundamental components, you are moving knowledge from your short-term memory to your long-term understanding. You're building robust, well-connected neural pathways instead of fragile, isolated facts. This process transforms you from a passive consumer of information into an active master of it. Habit 14. The serendipity engine. Genius often strikes at the intersection of seemingly unrelated fields. Steve Jobs famously connected calligraphy to computer typography, creating a digital revolution in design. You can engineer these serendipitous connections by becoming a cross-disciplinary explorer. This hack involves deliberately consuming information from fields far outside your own. If you're a programmer, read about biology. If you're an accountant, watch documentaries about art history. Your brain is a pattern-matching machine, and when you feed it diverse and unexpected information, it begins to look for patterns everywhere. This is the essence of creativity, the ability to link idea A from one world with idea B from another to create a breakthrough innovation. Idea C. By building a serendipity engine in your mind, you dramatically increase the surface area on which lucky insights can strike. Habit 15. The growth mindset mantra. The language you use about your own intelligence directly shapes your brain's potential. Saying, "I'm just not good at math," programs your brain to give up at the first sign of difficulty. This is a fixed mindset. The hack is to adopt a growth mindset, a term coined by psychologist Carol Dweck. The magic words are, "I can't do this yet." That simple three-letter word is a brainwave game changer. It reframes a challenge from a permanent verdict on your ability into a temporary state of learning. When you hit a wall, instead of triggering a stress response, your brain interprets it as a puzzle to be solved. It encourages persistence, curiosity, and resilience. Your brain is far more plastic than you think, and by using the yet mantra, you give it permission to struggle, adapt, and ultimately grow new connections. Habit 16. The digital sunset. The blue light from your phone and laptop screens in the evening is notorious for disrupting melatonin and keeping you awake. But the greater hack is about content, not just light. Scrolling through stressful news or engaging in intense online debates before bed doesn't just keep you awake, it puts your brain into a high beta, alert, and often anxious state right when it should be winding down into theta and delta waves for sleep. The digital sunset hack means shutting down all stimulating digital content at least 60 minutes before bed. No work emails, no social media, no alarming headlines. Replace it with analog, low-stimulus activities. Read a physical book, listen to calm music, journal, or plan the next day. This creates a buffer zone that allows your brainwaves to naturally slow down, ensuring you not only fall asleep faster, but also access the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep we talked about earlier. Habit 17. The gratitude neuro-rewire. Feeling stuck or negative isn't just an emotion. It's a neurological pattern. Your brain has a built-in negativity bias to keep you safe, but you can consciously override it with a simple practice, a gratitude inventory. Every night, just before you sleep, write down or mentally list 3 specific things you are grateful for that day. They don't have to be grand: a good cup of coffee, a kind word from a stranger, the warmth of the sun. This practice actively shifts your brain's focus from threats to rewards. It stimulates the production of serotonin and dopamine, the neurotransmitters associated with well-being and motivation. Over time, you are physically rewiring your neural pathways to more easily scan for the positive, which reduces background anxiety and creates a more fertile mental environment for creativity and clear thinking to flourish. Habit 18. The future self-visualization. The final hack connects your present actions to a powerful and emotional future. Your brain often struggles with long-term goals because the reward feels distant and abstract. The hack is to make it vivid and real through visualization. Take 5 minutes each day to close your eyes and imagine your future self, the person you are becoming after consistently applying these brainwave hacks. See them clearly. They are sharper, more confident, and calmer. Feel the satisfaction they have from accomplishing their goals. What projects have they completed? What problems have they solved? How do they carry themselves? This powerful emotional rehearsal does 2 things. It releases dopamine in the present, making the journey itself feel rewarding, and it programs your reticular activating system to notice opportunities and resources that align with that compelling future. You are no longer just working toward a goal. You are stepping into the identity of the person who has already achieved it. So there you have it. 18 powerful brainwave hacks to move from a state of mental friction to a state of cognitive flow. This isn't about becoming a different person. It's about unlocking the latent genius that has been in you all along, waiting for the right instructions. You now possess the knowledge to take control of your brain's rhythms, to clean its house while you sleep, to fuel it with curiosity, and to calm it with your breath. You have the tools to rewire your mindset, engineer creativity, and connect your daily actions to a brilliant future. The science is clear, the methods are proven. The only question that remains is which hack will you try first? Start small. Pick one, just one that resonated most with you, and practice it for the next week. Notice the subtle shift in your clarity, your energy, your focus. You have everything you need to begin hacking your brainwaves for a smarter, more inspired, and truly genius life. Now, go and activate your potential. Subscribe to Fact Sparkwave for more mind-blowing facts and daily motivation.